the storm that created a philosophy. The waves roared like a vengeful god, slamming against the wooden hull of Zeno's ship. The sky, once a calm expanse of blue, had transformed into a monstrous canvas of rage, splitting open with cracks of thunder. His cargo, years of trade, years of wealth, was swallowed by the abyss. In one cruel moment, the sea had taken everything. When the storm passed, Zeno, drenched and breathless, clung to a broken plank, staring into the empty horizon. No gold, no silks, no precious goods to trade, just the vast, indifferent ocean stretching before him. He had been a wealthy man that morning. Now he was nothing, or so it seemed. The art of losing everything. What would you do if your entire life's work vanished in an instant? Would you curse the heavens? Would you be paralyzed by despair? Would you rage at fate? Zeno did none of those things. Instead, he dragged himself onto the shores of Athens, penniless but unbroken. He wandered the streets until he found a bookstore, where the words of Socrates and the old philosophers whispered to him like a guiding hand. Their wisdom reshaped his grief into something new, an idea, a path, a way of life. The birth of an unshakable mind. Zeno did not drown in his misfortune. He forged it into philosophy. He gathered disciples in the open markets, teaching them the resilience of the soul, the power of perspective. He called it Stoicism, a way of embracing life's storms rather than fighting them. At its heart was a single, undeniable truth. You cannot control the world, but you can control yourself. A Stoic does not mourn what is lost, but accepts what remains. A Stoic does not shatter under hardship, but adapts, endures, and thrives. The philosophy of fire and stone. The Stoics believed in 4 virtues: wisdom, courage, temperance, and justice. These weren't just words, they were the foundation of a life unshaken by chaos. Wisdom taught them to see beyond illusion, to separate what they could control from what they could not. Courage gave them the strength to stand firm when the world pushed against them. Temperance reminded them that excess leads to ruin, and restraint breeds mastery. Justice was the duty to act righteously, no matter the cost. With these as their compass, Stoics did not fear fate. They walked willingly into hardship, knowing that struggle was not an enemy but a teacher. Endurance in the face of time. Zeno's teachings did not fade with the wind. They ignited minds across centuries. Epictetus, a former slave, taught that a free mind was more powerful than any chain. Seneca, an advisor to emperors, wrote of calm amidst power and peril. And Marcus Aurelius, ruler of Rome, wielded Stoicism not as a shield but as a sword, to cut through fear, doubt, and the illusions of grandeur. Even in chains, even on battlefields, even in the highest halls of power, Stoicism endured. Because hardship is eternal, but so is the strength to rise above it. The modern war of the mind. We live in a world of endless noise. Notifications, comparisons, expectations. The modern storm does not come from the sea, but from within our own minds. We chase wealth, status, perfection, believing they will make us whole. We measure success by likes and follows, by promotions and possessions. And when these fragile measures fail, we crumble. But a Stoic does not crumble. A Stoic does not base their worth on things outside their control. Imagine this: you work tirelessly, pouring your soul into your craft. But when you release it into the world, silence. No applause, no recognition. Most would be crushed. But the Stoic? They measure success not by the world's response, but by their own effort. The power of perspective. The rain will fall. The waves will rise. The storms will come. You will lose things. You will fail. You will suffer. These are inevitable truths of existence. But the way you see them? That is your power. Zeno's shipwreck was not the end of his life. It was the beginning of his greatest journey. What if your struggles too are not tragedies, but transformations? What if your failures are the forge that shapes you? This is Stoicism, Not a cold detachment, but an unyielding fire, one that refuses to be extinguished by the winds of fate. And when the next storm comes, as it always does, you won't need to fight it. You'll simply stand in the rain and smile, because you are unbreakable. And you always have been.